Hello. So today let's talk about brain fog and spinal, that is back and neck pain. Are these two connected? And what you need to know about this connection between the brain fog and spinal pain. Now, as an executive mom, you juggle your demanding work responsibilities while you're caring for your families, but you may often feel that you're forgetting things or struggling to concentrate or focus on the task at hand. You might forget things from your to-do list, from your things that you need to do at work, etc. Now, if you add in neck, back, and nerve pain to that mix, your productivity can take a serious hit. Now, but here's something that most executive moms or working moms don't realize. Brain fog and spinal pain are often connected. If you've been pushing through your days with pain and mental fatigue, and you're trying to understand the root cause, this is a video that you probably want to watch. Now, before we get into the connection between brain fog and spinal and nerve pain, and also we're going to look at a couple of things that you can do, some easy tips to manage your brain fog and, of course, to manage your spinal, that is back and neck pain, in order to manage your brain fog. Let me first introduce myself. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Swati. I'm an executive mom power coach. I help moms of younger kids who work in high stress executive jobs to manage their spinal, that is back and neck, and nerve pain despite low energy levels and brain fog or lack of focus. Now, I do this given with a number of strategies, but the main ones are some simple exercises, some easy lifestyle modifications, some tips and tricks that have helped me in my own pain and adrenal fatigue journey. Those of you who are familiar with adrenal fatigue know there are lots of symptoms, but the main ones that I had were lack of focus or brain fog and low energy levels. When you have these two, it is very difficult to manage your spinal and nerve pain. Of course, not impossible because here I am on the other side and happy to help you with the same. All right. So, without taking more of your time, because hey, we are moms, we are busy people, let's get into the topic for today, which is brain fog and spinal, that is back and neck pain, the hidden connection that every executive mom should know about these. Now, how does your spinal pain contribute to brain fog? Now, if you have a poor posture, now, this poor posture leads to uh, poor blood flow to the brain. Pain is often associated with poor posture, such as a forward head posture, where your head is leaning forward past your shoulders, or rounded shoulders. You might have seen this posture. This is very common for people who spend a lot of time on the computers, people who are driving for a long period of time, etc. Now, with these postures, what happens is your breathing pattern tends to become more shallow. When you are not taking a regular or a deep breath, there is a very, very minimal reduction of the blood flow to the brain. Now, I'm not saying there's a blockage of the blood flow. Of course, that will be drastic. What I'm saying is every single day that you are sitting in that poor posture and you're doing that shallow breathing, there is a minimal reduction of the blood flow to the brain, which can not lead to drastic consequences, but it can add up, making you feel foggy, unfocused, mentally drained. So, also poor postures are linked to cervicogenic dizziness, cervicogenic headaches. These can often be related with brain fog-like symptoms. Now, of course, if you want to know more about cervicogenic headaches and dizziness, there are lots of videos I've done on this topic. You can go to my YouTube channel and look at it there. If you can't find me on YouTube, just type my name, Swati Prakash, or Executive Mom Power Coach. It'll come up there. All right, so moving on. The next thing I want to talk about is chronic pain drains your mental energy. Now, pain is not just physical, it also taxes your nervous system, forcing your brain to constantly process that discomfort, right? So, you must have noticed when you have pain, maybe you're busy at work, maybe it's not a very sharp shooting pain, but it always stays in the back of your mind. Your brain is always processing that discomfort, that pain. So this leaves less energy for cognitive tasks, that is, tasks like decision making, problem solving, memory recall, because your brain is so busy dealing with that pain, right? So long-term pain also increases cortisol, which is the stress hormone, which can also negatively affect your memory or your mental clarity. So again, do you see how that spinal pain can lead to actually any pain in the body, body, but in this case, we're talking spinal pain that is back and neck, leading to that brain fog. Now, the next one I want to address is quite an important one, but inflammation and stress responses. Now, chronic spinal pain, that is your back and neck pain, when it gets chronic, it triggers an inflammatory response in your body. Now, that itself can affect your brain function, the optimal brain function that we should have. Inflammation has always been linked to fatigue, sluggish thinking, mental confusion, and this is all signs of a brain fog, right? So, if you are forgetting things, if you think your memory is not being the best, it may not just be age, it may not be just you're busy, it may not just be you've got like 100 tabs open in your brain at the same time. I've been there, I know it, but it can potentially be linked to your spinal, that is back and neck pain. Now, what can you do to clear this brain fog and to manage or reduce that spinal pain? So I'm going to give you three easy tips that you can implement right now. But let's start with the easiest one. So first is stretch and move regularly. Now, if you take a 2 minutes break or even a minute's break every hour, sometimes it feels a bit overwhelming, but really you can just take a break, like go get a glass of water, just go walk up to the printer, just walk around your office, come back. And if possible, you can do some easy desk-based exercises, like something as simple as just turning your head from one side to the other, just tilting your head from one side to the other, some shoulder rolls, some wrist rotations, etc. So things don't have to be complicated to be effective. You can do simple exercises sitting at your desk just to de-stress that spine so that the loads or the stresses, the physical stresses don't build up on your spine. Now, I have written a blog with on the same topic. It's called, let me just look at it, Brain Fog and Spinal, that is neck and back pain, are they connected? In that blog, I will leave a link to some desk-based exercises. This is a free video guide that you can access. It gives you simple exercises starting from your cervical spine, that is your neck, your upper part of your neck here, from your hairline down to your toes. So see that these are simple sequence of exercises that you go through. It's no fluff, a very simple video that I have done. And you can you can do more repetitions if you want to make it longer. Otherwise, it can be finished within 1 or 2 minutes. And really, that's not too much to ask for when you have this much pain and brain fog. So try it out, if not every hour, at least a couple of times in the day, say 5 to 6 times in your working hours. Um, okay, so the next one is breathe deeply to oxygenate your brain. So that goes back to the very first point that I was talking about. So you want to do a couple of deep breathing exercises. You can practice any form of exercise, or you can just do 5 deep belly breaths. It can also be helpful if you do these deep breathing exercises, say 3 to 5 deep breaths before you have a meeting, before you have a big thing coming up, just to increase that mental clarity. And check your work posture. Now, sometimes we talked about posture earlier, right? So that was the second point I had addressed. But sometimes you can do simple adjustments to your desk, to your chair, to your monitor or your computer setup, just to keep your spine in a neutral position. And you can avoid slouching, you can avoid rounded shoulders, that forward head posture I was talking about, just with checking your work posture. So, in the blog that I have written on this topic, the one I was referring to earlier, there is a free guide to achieve and maintain a good posture while working from home. Now, it says working from home, but basically it is something it is applicable to your workspace as well. So, whether you're working from home or from your desk at work, you can apply that free guide to achieve and maintain a good posture at your desk. Now, that blog also has a video on 5 easy tips to prevent postural fatigue and brain fog while managing a high stress job, which I think is quite relevant to the topic we're talking about today. It also has links to different blogs and videos that I have done on deep breathing, movements, work posture, etc. So have a look at that blog and let me know if you have any questions, if there's been any terms or any words that I've used that don't make sense to you or sound very complicated. complicated, you want me to clarify more on them, let me know and I'll be happy to address this for you. Just drop your comments or your questions in the comment box below. Also, yeah, the blog I was talking about earlier, I will leave a link to that blog in the description of this video. If you're watching me on Instagram, the link is in my bio. If you're a busy mom or you can't find the blog, it's okay. Just message me, just comment below. I will send it across to you. Alrighty, I hope this was useful. If you guys have any topics that you want me to talk about, do let me know. I'll be happy to help you out.